What the Thunder Said, Part 20, I think. So we were looking at gathered far distant over Himavant, and we found ourselves in Brittany, near Lesneven, with an old man called Solomon, which may or may not link to the key later. So the lily, in letters of gold, the words Ave Maria, the grave was opened, and it was soon discovered that the lily had taken root in the mouth of the penniless old hermit. So you've got reference to the Hermit of Taro. That region, Finisterre, was an active site of French resistance, and Finisterre range in New Guinea in World War II was also a site of like Australian military victory or something. So that links quite nicely with the jungle crouched, humped in silence. So the jungle linking with the forest. But then also Jung is Jungen in German, so a word for the young. So the young crouched. So to crouch is to supplicate, praise, do, or sedge, can be linked to hiding. And then humped, as in camel, gimel, perhaps. Because you would expect that word to be hunched in silence, I think. Humped is quite an odd word to use there. Then spoke the thunder. So that's linked with the Upanishads, the gods who ask after speaking, Da, do you understand? Da, data. It's not law that I'm particularly familiar with, and I suspect it's more than one meaning. So I'm thinking Da, could it be a way that you would say Da as in dad, as in Zeus? And then thinking about Athena, the voice of thunder. So at the end of the Odyssey, so she commanded, he obeyed her, glad at heart, and Athena handed down her pacts of peace between both sides for all the years to come, the daughter of Zeus, whose shield is storm and thunder, yes, but the goddess still kept mentor's build and voice. So essentially, she commanded it, and they stopped fighting. In other words, will you fucking behave? Then we have a data, what have we given? What have we given, to me, links with this idea of a sacrifice? As in, God tested Abraham by asking him to offer his son Isaac as a burnt offering. So linking to the sacrifice of a son, which we see in later with Jesus. And also this idea of Mark 12, 41, 44, where Jesus is saying, like, the widow gave 2 small coins, that this is worth more than everything else. The sacrifice is something that has value to you. So with that sound, Dattatreya is one of the lords of yoga, an avatar of the combined form of 3 Hindu gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Avadhuta Gita, Song of the Free Soul, is attributed to him. So the idea of this combined form of the 3 gods being a separate name, separate form, is kind of what we began with. Like, he was that walk beside me. Interestingly, he was worshipped on Thursdays along with Vishnu, as was Thor, god of thunder. Thursday in most Romance languages named after Jupiter, the god of sky and thunder. And there was a HMS Jupiter which sank off the Java coast. My friend, blood shaking my heart. So I was thinking friend, ally, as in the Allied forces. Heart, ib, shaking with pulsating. God whose heart is motionless is Osiris, so possibly linking with resurrection. Thanks for listening.